Well, happy Monday morning, my beautiful Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube friends. My name is Tiffany Dowhan, Canadian country recording artist and entertainer, and also president and founder of the High Heels and Spurs Self-Esteem Foundation and program. And also I have guest little word here today, so he's going to be in here. So again, you're going to see him. But basically, today I'm excited to share the law of sowing and reaping. And the reason I'm so excited to share this with you guys today is because I have a good friend who had a dream that came to fruition over the weekend. He had the honor of performing at the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville, Tennessee. And the reason I wanted to share the law of sowing and reaping is because Brett Kissel, Canadian country recording artist, is an amazing example of the law of sowing and reaping. I had met Brett Kissel in about 2003, 2004, when he was an extremely young man, when we were part of a group called Global Country. And Global Country was an amazing organization, gave us the opportunity to kind of hone our craft, songwriting, performing, getting out in front of people, and really truly starting to pursue our dreams and our goals as far as being in the music industry. So really at the end of the day, the nice part about what we did is that we got to know each other as artists, but we also got to really focus on our dreams and goals and helping them come to fruition. So thank you so much to Global Country for that. But Brett was an extremely young man, very talented, could play the heck out of the guitar at that age. Wonderful, wonderful young man, comes from a great family. And Brett really knew in his heart that he was going to be successful. And more than anyone I've ever known or ever met, Brett has that belief in himself. He has belief in his dreams and his goals. And he really, really, when he decided he was going to do this, he grabbed the bull by the horns and he ran for it. And he really focused on the law of sowing and reaping. So, Brett, I hope you're okay with me using you as an example today, but you are an amazing example of what I'm about to share with everybody today. So now, kind of fast forward to 2015. You know, what has Brett accomplished because of the law of sowing and reaping? Brett has accomplished, CCMA awards. He won a Juno last year. And it's been a long time since a Canadian country act has won a Juno. He is now working with the likes of Bob Doyle. He's performing with acts like Garth Brooks, touring with Brad Paisley. Some amazing, amazing accomplishments, you guys, but all because of the law of sowing and reaping. So I'm actually going to share from an amazing mentor of mine. Jim Rohn passed away not too long ago, but I remember hearing this when I first got involved into my business, into my network marketing business. It was Jim Rohn's basically training or information on the law of sowing and reaping. So I'm going to share that with you guys today. And I want you to think about, kind of where Brett started and where he is now. But I also want you to think about where you are right now and where you'd like to be, let's say in the next 3 to 5 years. And are you following the law of sowing and reaping, okay? So I have my notes with me because this is a really important story, and the attention that you need to give it is in the details of this story, okay? So the law of sowing and reaping, and this comes from Jim Rohn. So this is the story of the sower, and it comes from the Bible. Here is what the story says. Firstly, the sower was ambitious. When you read the whole story, you'll conclude, yes, this was an ambitious sower. Here was number 2. He had excellent seed. The sower who sowed the seed had excellent seed. So as an example, the excellent seed could be an excellent business opportunity that you have. Maybe you have an excellent product that you're selling. Maybe you have an excellent idea that you're trying to get out there. Or maybe an excellent story. And in Brett's case, it was his talent, okay? So we've got an ambitious sower with excellent seed. So the sower goes out to sow the seed. But the first part of the seed falls by the wayside and the birds get it. So I want you guys to jot this down, especially if you're taking notes. The birds are going to get some of the seed. Now here's an example. For Brett and I, we entered singing competitions, and there was many times, believe me, and Brett and I actually never really won a lot of singing contests when we were young and performing. And here's the reality. The birds are going to get some of the seeds, but you have to make sure that you're not letting the birds totally get you. And that's by stealing you away from your dreams and goals, because maybe you didn't win a contest, or maybe somebody told you no. Maybe, somebody's saying maybe it's not possible for you, okay? So I want you guys to think about this. The birds are going to get some, but don't let the birds get you, okay? So when disappointment and failure creeps in, it is just one of those things. And here's the best comment when things get a little disappointing in your life and your pursuit of your dreams and your goals. This is what you need to say to yourself. And this is my favorite thing that I ever learned from Jim Rohn. He always says, isn't that interesting? So instead of asking yourself, why is this happening? Maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Maybe I shouldn't be pursuing this goal or this dream. This is what you say to yourself instead. Isn't that interesting? Okay? Now here's the rest of the story. The sower kept on sowing. That was the secret to his success. He kept on sowing. And if you keep sowing, you can sow more than the birds can get, because there aren't enough birds. If you keep sowing, there are always some birds, but there aren't enough, because the law of averages will always work for you. And Jim Rohn, in his training that he does on this, he said that his mentor taught him this and said to him, Mr. Rohn, there are only about 9 or 10 really nasty, miserable people in the whole world. But, they move around a lot, so you're liable to bump into them more than once in a while. But when you bump into one, you say, you know what? There's about 9 of you in the world, so I think I can handle that, even if I have to bump into you more than 1 or 2 times. Now, here's what else it says. The sower now keeps sowing the seed. Now, the seed falls, the story says, on rocky ground where the soil is shallow. And the rocky ground where the soil is shallow is not of your making, because you have excellent seed and you are an ambitious sower. But here is what it says happened. This time, the little seed that falls on the ground starts to grow, and the little plant starts to grow. But on the first hot day, it withers and dies. And here's the thing, you guys, it's not an easy thing to watch. You think you got things going right, opportunities are coming away, people are saying yes to you, and then all of a sudden, you basically throw your seed on the soil and it's a little bit rocky, and basically, it starts to grow, and then all of a sudden, it withers and it dies, okay? It's not an easy thing, and it is discouraging. And here's the thing, the hot weather is going to get some of us, you guys. It's going to get us sometimes, but it's not of our making. And here's what you must say when that happens. Isn't that interesting? Again, Jim Rohn, my favorite thing he says, instead of really asking yourself why and thinking about quitting, this is what you need to do. You need to say, isn't that interesting? Now here's the secret to the ambitious sower with good seed. You have to keep on sowing, and that is what he did. He kept on sowing. Here's what he had to do to keep on sowing. He had to discipline his disappointment. This is a key phrase now to use for the rest of your life. And again, I want you guys to write this down. You must learn to discipline your disappointment. Because here's the thing, you guys, you are going to be disappointed. You are going to hit roadblocks. You are going to fail. But in order to succeed, you need to fail. But here's what it says. The sower, my dog is right up on the video. Little boy, come down here. Get down. Okay, I have to show you guys this. It's hilarious. Just because this is my dog, and he's sitting right where I'm trying to record. You're terrible. Okay, so this is what makes things interesting when you're doing videos for YouTube, and he's trying to look at my face. Okay, so come on down, honey. Okay, so here we're back to the story, everyone. So here's what it says. The sower kept on sowing. Now it says the seed falls on thorny ground. And somebody says, well, how much of this do we have to really go through? Well, hang on. It's not the end of the story. The little seed falls on thorny ground, and the little plant starts to grow again. But as the little plant starts to grow, the thorn chokes it to death, and it dies. So jot this down. The thorns are going to get some. And again, this is not of your making. And I want you guys to think about this. What are the thorns in your life? And the story calls these so-called little thorns, little cares, little distractions, things that distract you from your dreams and your goals. And you guys, I've been through this, and I still go through this every single day. For me, sometimes it's relationships, like in even dating, and being with people, maybe you shouldn't be with. Maybe it's people, surround yourself with friendships in relationships. That maybe those friendships are not serving you and they're actually pulling you away from your greatness and your dreams and your goals. Maybe it's just little things in life like controversy and just distractions that you need to basically eliminate to pursue the things that you really want to pursue in your life, okay? So, people let little things, you guys, and this is something that he says, they let little things cheat them out of big opportunities. And I'm going to tell you, those little things in your life right now that are sucking the life out of you and are not helping you get what you want, you need to get rid of them. And you know, sometimes it's not always easy, but you have to pay attention to those little things that are maybe a waste of time. You know, here's a simple example. Spending hours on Facebook, watching TV, mindlessly watching hours and hours and hours of TV. Those are thorns, you guys. Those are things that are distracting you when you could be doing things that are walking you towards your purpose. Maybe reading a personal growth and development book. Maybe watching a YouTube video like this that's going to give you some tools to walk forward in your life. Okay, so think about that. What are the thorns? People let little things cheat them out of big opportunities. Don't let those little things cheat you out of big opportunities. Now, here is the good news. Let's read the rest of the story quickly. The sower now keeps on sowing the seed. The sower keeps on pursuing his dreams, goals, working towards his dreams and goals. And here's the thing. Finally, the seed falls on good, solid ground. Okay? Now put this into parenthesis for yourself again if you're taking notes. The seed will always, always fall on good ground if you keep sowing. If you share a good idea, a good business, your talent, whatever it is long enough, it will always fall on good people. And I'm going to use Brett as an example of this. Brett has been working so hard for years, since 2003, 2004, even before that, you guys. Sometimes, you know, going out and doing gigs and getting paid very little for it, sometimes nothing. You know, going out, shaking hands, kissing people, loving on people, and doing what he's done for years. And you know what? He's working with some of the best people in the industry. But I've never seen someone sow seed like Brett Kissel sows seed. It is unbelievable. So remember this. Your seed will fall on good ground as long as you keep sowing. If you share it for long enough, it will eventually fall on great, not just good people, great people. So now, there is a simple message in all of this. Start with ambition and excellent seed, and keep on sowing the seed. Keep on persevering. Determinations, patience, and the law of averages will always carry you past the birds, the weather, the thorns, and to harvest time. Thank you guys so much. I love you so much. Thank you, Brett Kissel, for letting me use you as an example today. And you know what? For all of you that are out there watching this video, keep on sowing the seed. Because the more that you sow that seed, it is going to fall on good ground, and it's going to fall on great people. Love you guys. Have an amazing week, and we will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.